No one who has ever met Flora Jacobs would describe her as scandalous, but scandal, intrigue, and salacious gossip is precisely what is ascribed to her mysterious disappearance. You've all seen the stories in the newspapers regarding a recent disappearance about 3 days ago, and Lady Constance McVitie, the Baroness of Snaith, has called you to a house or a London apartment in Grosvenor House in London. Of some of you are already vaguely familiar with Flora. You've met her on a handful of occasions. That's everybody's character bar Jake. And impressions of her, she's quite a pretty young woman. She's not even in her 20s yet. She's a little naive, and she has very little experience of the etiquette of the social class that she was born into. Due to, in part, that her father comes from a working class background and is kind of new money. Made his money in the textile industries. But Flora's mother died when she was about 16, and because of this, her father, not really a hands-on kind of person. A great aunt, the Duchess of Snaith, decided to take her under his wing, and she now serves as a full-time guardian. But the Duchess normally lives on her estate in Snaith in Yorkshire. But after the disappearance of her grandniece, she has come to London to try and enlist the help of some family friends in the guise of Harry Bancroft. So you find yourselves outside Grosvenor House in one of the quieter, more well-to-do suburban districts of London. And knocking at the door, ringing the bell. There's a moment before it's answered by the housekeeper. Middle-aged woman with her hair tied up in a bun, a neatly ironed uniform. She recognises Harry, as you've been to this address at least on a couple of occasions. Mr. Bancroft, Lady McVitie is awaiting you in the drawing room. If you'd care to come forward, I'm afraid she has some company at the moment.
Okay.
That's us, isn't it? Well, are we not the company?
No, you are accompanying. So you are accompanying Harry. You're sort of Harry's tag-along friends. So Charles and Gerald, you're Harry's tag-along friends.
Okay.
Friends is possibly people we've met.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably Charles is maybe a closer friend than Gerald. So the housekeeper, who you know, her name, you seem to recall her name is Mary. She leads you through to the dining room where you can hear Lady McVitie, or Constance as you affectionately know her, Harry. She appears to be in conversation with somebody else, and you detect a distinct American accent as you enter the drawing room. Let's see, Lady Constance.
And just in case that's my cue,
It is
y'all
indeed.
miss, you have nothing to be concerned about. I'm sure we'll get to the bottom of this, and we'll find out who this mysterious American gentleman of whom you speak has a great interest to the local authorities in my country as well.
Says yes. I'd be keen to know what if my niece, my grandniece, is in any immediate danger. It is a little concerning that an American gentleman has come all the way to London to track down some kind of villain.
Well, we're not 100% sure yet. It's a little early to make any conclusions. The investigation is in its infancy at this point.
Right. So Mary clears her throat and gets the Duchess's attention. This is ma'am, the Mr. Bancroft is here, and his associates. And Lady Constance looks around and says, Shrimpy, come in. We're this is Mr. Sorry, what was your name again? Is it detective, or how do I refer to you?
Well, you can just call me Jake. It's Jake Choter is my name.
Oh, French?
No, it's I come from around the just outside of Texas.
Oh, I see. A cowboy.
Well, y'all, I left my 50-gallon at home. It didn't seem prudent to bring it on air travel, or sea voyage.
Oh, it's quite exciting. Now, I'm afraid all I have is my trusty cane, and she taps the a cane that's like lent at the side of the desk.
Well, so far the weather here hasn't been what you call sunny. Not much call for big, wide-brimmed hats in on this side of the pond, as you English so often like to call it.
Yes, the weather has been somewhat inclement of late. Yes. So Shrimpy, come in, and your friends. Who is these again? Is that is that Mr. Black?
I'll talk to you about the books later, Mum.
Oh, of course. Yes, thank you, Mr. Black. Your services are always appreciated, as well as your discretion. You're looking a little less tardy than usual. And you, of course, Charles Astor, the Harry's actor friend, and we be aware of any of your latest works up on the stage?
Well, I don't know if you recall, but we've met before when you've been down and come and seen a few of my shows on the West End. We've had drinks afterwards. I mean, it was some time ago last time, we met around there, but we did like a little soiree, but I've got some things coming up in the pipeline.
Oh, hopefully more tasteful than the last performance.
I'm just surprised somebody actually saw it.
You maybe say that, Constance, but if we look at the numbers, these theatre productions have been wildly successful. I am one of the shining lights on the West End.
Sorry, just cough playing up. Don't mind me.
I would have thought that you took exception to his acting skills based on your reaction.
Sorry. Skills. You're American. I think there's probably just some sort of like language issues going on.
No, not at all.
Over that particular word.
He's only jealous. I have graced many of lead roles in the biggest theatre productions in the West End over the last few years. You know, I'm not some small-time actor around here. I've done my numbers. You know, I've worked my way up, and you know, who can say I'm up there? The directors love me.
That's quite impressive, and I shall reassure you that I am completely up upon the English vernacular. For instance, Shrimpy. By your stature, I take it that's your nickname and not your proper name.
I don't like that name, to be honest. I don't. In my profession, it's not something I would have used.
Well, what does your good friend Chucky here call you?
He calls me my name, Harry.
The actor.
Yeah, Harry.
Harry.
Oh,
Yeah.
Harry, I see. Okay. Well, Harry it is.
None of this shrimpy business, you know. That's a bit. It's a bit lame, I would say, for gentlemen of our caliber.
It was a school name, an old school name. I'm not at school anymore.
Your stature has improved greatly over the since you matured, Harry.
Allegedly.
But,
Harry it is then.
but anyway, as I was saying, this is Mr. Chotter.
Yeah, Mr. Chotter, but call me Jake. It's
This is Jake. He's
what my friends call me.
He's a federal agent. Have I got that right?
Correct. Yes, I was here coincidentally on an exchange program with some of your federales, as we would call them in Texas. But it just so happens that I was told to report here and see if I can't lend assistance to this mystery that may or may not involve an American citizen, allegedly.
So this Jake, here seems to believe that the person he's trailing is the one that Flora's all tied up with.
Well, it's a little too early to say if he's tied her up yet, so I don't want to jump to any conclusions.
I hope not.
What leads you to believe that this American gentleman is connected to the girl that we seek?
Honestly, it's based on witness testimony. You know what we've seen the papers reporting. We don't have too much to go on yet, but we are currently checking the records of American nationals that may have arrived within a recent amount of time here into the UK.
I'm afraid you have me at I am at a disadvantage in this situation. I never actually met the man. But as after speaking with Flora, I was aware that she was seeing a man by the name of I forgot his name. I think it's Jake. Frank, not Jake. By the name of Frank,
Jake.
Frank Adler. But I haven't met him personally. As you may know, Harry, Flora was staying in these apartments here at the Grosvenor House to try and acclimatise herself to the social arena that she should be that she's expected to play in.
I don't want to seem indelicate, but I'm given to understand that Flora was left under your charge, but still does have a surviving parent. Has anybody been in touch with her father to determine if she's been there or if he's heard word?
Yes, indeed. I spoke to her. In fact, I believe the Metropolitan Police have also been in touch via their counterparts in his hometown, but he's had no contact. To be honest, his parental instincts are a little lacking. I don't believe he's even spoke to Flora within the last 6 months.
And has he seen it all concerned? I mean, if
Oh,
one were to hear that their
don't
only daughter went missing.
Don't misunderstand me. He is concerned. He's finds it a little bit hard to express himself, should we say? He comes from is not. It comes from a totally different social background to myself, and I'm Flora's mother's. It's more of a working class history, family history. What I think you Americans call it new money.
Well, to be honest, from my experience, class doesn't enter into things a lot when it comes to an attachment to a child. I wouldn't demean a person for being. We just don't hold the same class values as you do over here.
But yes, there's been no word of her being in contact with her father, and from what I understand, about when she disappeared 3 days ago, she was due to make the journey to my estate in Snaith. And by all accounts, I believe, Mary, the driver can confirm this, can he? That he personally escorted them to the train, and is that the case? So the housemaid agrees. Says, yeah. It's like, would you like me to fetch the driver, Mom? And said, no, that'll be
Actually,
okay for now.
why don't you go fetch the driver after all? I'd like to question him as the last known person who's seen these two together. Perhaps he could give us some information. Perhaps like what train they took and to where.
Very well, if you think so, Mr. Jake, Mr. Schotter. And she nods at Mary, and she disappears. Yes, but as I say, she was supposed to arrive. It was 3 days ago now, and so I came down after hearing of her disappearance. I came down here to see if I could move things along. But I'm afraid my interactions with the Metropolitan Police have been less than satisfactory. Hence, I called upon you, Harry.
She travelling alone, didn't she? Hasn't she got her own maid?
She was by all accounts she was travelling. She was travelling with this Mr. Adler.
But she's been staying here, living with you.
No, I haven't been living here, Harry. I've been up on the estate in Snaith. Flora has been staying here under the watch of Mary, of course, but yeah, she's been staying here mostly alone.
Is it just Mary and the driver that are here then?
There's Mary, the housekeeper, the driver, and there's the two servants, the two maids.
Like to question them all, I think.
Oh,
we're not, Jake. Question all the stuff.
I believe that is in order. Starting with the driver, of course. But tell me, Harry, it seems like you and your friends are close members of the family. What do you know about Flora? Have you guys met her in person? Have any impressions of her or opinions that may bear interest on this?
I think I've only met her maybe a couple of times, but I couldn't really tell you anything about her.
Likewise.
I must say, I mean, back where I come from, there's this a fledgling movement of feminism that is gaining some traction, and it is believed that young women should have the same privileges as young men, and we're really trying to determine here if it is in her nature to be seen in public with a gentleman caller, why would it be alarming that she's not arriving, 3 days after an expected appointment?
So Lady Constance butts in and says, well, if the reports from the driver are to be believed, she caught a train from Marylebone Station on the express train to Sheffield, and from there she should have taken caught a connecting train which would have brought her to Snaith. And the journey is only a matter of hours, 5 hours at the very most. So she should have arrived on the same day that she departed.
But do we have confirmation that she indeed did leave Marylebone?
Well, hopefully the driver will be able to confirm that.
And was it a direct train?
I believe so. Perhaps Dennis, the driver, I'm sure he'll be able to confirm that. So a few moments later, the gentleman in his 60s comes in. He's got a sort of black sort of driver's uniform with a peaked cap that he takes off as he enters the room. And says, Lady McVitie, you called for me? Says, yes, if these gentlemen have some questions they'd like to ask you regarding Flora's disappearance. I says, of course, ma'am. How can I help?
We want to know about her journey, I guess, and what occurred on the journey. You were the driver. You took her.
I did indeed. Miss Jacobs was accompanied by a gentleman caller, Mr. Adler, an American gentleman, I believe. I drove them to Marylebone Station, and they took both caught the express train to Sheffield.
Did you see them get on the train?
Oh yes, I can guarantee they got on the train. I helped load the luggage onto the train, and saw the train. Indeed, I did, sir. Yes, the train. I waited upon the station until the train departed, in case I was needed.
What can you tell us about Mr. Adler? How old? You engage him in conversation?
To be honest, only exchanged the necessary pleasantries. I would say he's about in his 30s. Mary, the housekeeper, and her girls will probably had more interaction with the American gentleman than myself. He had very little to say on the car journey to the train station, at least to me, that is. If you'll excuse me, ma'am, the two Flora and Miss Jacobs rather, and the American gentleman seemed quite enamoured of each other.
Heavily enamoured with each other?
That would be not my place to say, sir.
Well, I do believe in this situation. It may be a place to say.
Lady Constance, like buttons. Don't be so ridiculous. This is an important matter. Just come out of it, man.
So there's Mr. Adler. Have the police questioned him in at the other end, Sheffield or wherever they were going? Was it Nath? Has he been apprehended by the police?
It seems. Well, no. Nobody's seen Mr. Adler or my niece.
So he's disappeared as well.
Well, they didn't arrive at Snaith.
But the train did stop at Sheffield on the way.
It was so the train. Well, I'm sure you can confirm this, Dennis. That the train was an express train, if I'm getting this correct, which is a no-stop special that it makes the entire journey in about 3 hours, and it terminates at Sheffield. Normally, it would be that once they arrive at Sheffield Victoria Station, they would catch a connecting train from there to I believe the Kingston upon Hull train, which would take them to Snaith. As I say, the whole journey wouldn't take more than several hours.
Has
But now
anybody
there are-
talked to the train conductor? Does he remember them
Well,
getting up at Sheffield?
as I say, Mr. Black, I'm here to try and move the situation along. My opinion of the Metropolitan Police's progress on this matter is less than satisfactory. So
Surely it's a matter for the police in Sheffield. There's a young lady that's gone missing.
well,
It's
I
their
believe
responsibility to find out where she's gone. Surely.
indeed, I believe the police at both in Sheffield and Snaith have been contacted by the Metropolitan Police, but as yet I've heard nothing positive. They seem to have no further information. Just seem to have come up blank, I'm afraid. In fact, I'm sure Mr. Jake, you would be probably privy to more information on this matter than myself.
Well, as you can imagine, it is a little bit. There is a time delay between when I can, request and receive back information from my superiors on this. But do we know anything about the commercial interests of Mr. Adler in England? What business was he conducting here? That might give us some insight as to where he may have gone to, and therefore where Flora may be.
To be honest, my knowledge of Mr. Adler is worryingly lacking. I believe he has a home in Porchester Square. And as to his business interests, I'm not sure. I'm not aware of any, whether or not he has any business interests.
Has he engaged any gentleman's gentleman while he was in England?
Again, I'm afraid I can't. My knowledge of Mr. Adler is minimal. In fact, I know nothing more than that about him myself.
Well,
I've never actually met the man.
Perhaps again the driver and all. What were the conversations? Have you heard conversations in the vehicle that might give us any insight into this Mr. Adler and what his business dealings are here in England?
Well, I'm not sure if that's if that would be good and proper, sir. And he looks.
Given the circumstances, good and proper would be to find Flora, and that is the primary concern. Any information that you have, it might be considered criminal not to divulge it to present company.
Oh, I wouldn't want to be seen to be obstructing justice. And he looks over at Lady McVitie, and she says, "Get on with it, man. Get on with it." He says, "Well, as I say, they seemed quite enamoured with each other. I did overhear a little conversation, perhaps they were making the journey to Snaith to seek the approval of Lady McVitie in their engagement."
Well, congratulations. I believe is in order. Once we resolve this, of course. Nothing wrong at all with a lady approaching her 20s to marrying a gentleman of a good, stature and age of about 30. I think that would probably be viewed very favorably
Lady
over here.
Constance but it's just, yes, indeed there would. But as I say, I'm a little concerned that that this is not a respectable gentleman. If it seems you, sir, are on his trail.
Well, I think the first thing to do would be at this point, after we finished investigating the rest of the staff for any information they may have, is to head out to Horchester Square and see if we can't investigate his flat and determine more about this mysterious Mr. Adler.
Well, I leave that that in your hands. I mean, it is beyond my experience, out of my range of experience. As I say, this is why
I certainly hope. I certainly hope that Mr. Black and Harry and company and Chucky will accompany me. It would probably be good to have people who are familiar with what Mr. Adler looks like and what Flora looks like.
Indeed. Indeed, and I understand your rightly so. Your focus is mainly on Mr. Adler. The possible apprehension.
I want you to be rest assured that our first priority is to find Flora in good health and return her to you. That would be the first priority in this case. Mr. Adler is simply a person of interest at this point due to his association with Flora.
Right. So at this point, the Mary, the housekeeper, and the two maids enter the room. As Lady McVitie says, these gentlemen may have some questions to ask you regarding Miss Jacobs and a gentleman caller. And the two maids sort of giggle and whisper it to each other.
Enough of that, really. Which one of you packed the good lady Flora's items?
One of the maids sort of steps forward, kind of curtsies a little bit, and goes blushes. Says, "I did, sir."
And how many days' travel would you estimate that Flora requested you to pack her things for?
I would say a good week or more.
Did she ask you to include anything that you thought might, have been more appropriate if somebody was to travel for a longer period of time or travel without coming back? Were there any? Did she make any special requests that you make sure to include in her packing?
No, I wouldn't say so, sir. It was, I would say it was normally within the bounds of what she would normally take on a trip up to the estate, to Lady McVitie's estate in Snaith.
And did anybody here come to know of Mr. Adler and what his business dealings are in England?
So the Mary, the housemaid, she sort of speaks up. Says, if you'll forgive me, madam, I found Mr. Adler to be somewhat vulgar, a vulgar gentleman, and they had the detestable habit of constantly chewing on these toothpicks, which he would just chew upon and then just flick from his mouth and discard them about the house. He was constantly having to clean up after him. But there was the girls here. They did overhear overhear conversations that would that they suspected they might be looking to seek your approval in their engagement.
Did Mr. Adler appear to have money of his own?
Yes, from what I could tell, it was in that vulgar, if you'll excuse me, that vulgar way that some of these rich American gentlemen seem to have. Present company accepted, of course, Mr. Detective. Oh,
Yeah, I'm quite sure I resemble that comment.
But I believe he spoke of owning a house on Porchester Square, which I'm sure you know, Mr. Bancroft, is quite a well-to-do area.
So have the Metropolitan Police been to the house? Have they actually done anything?
So, wait a minute. He says, to be honest, Harry, I get the impression that they've done the bare minimum. They seem disturbingly unconcerned.
Well, perhaps if you gentlemen don't mind, in my own vulgar American way, we shall go and check the house and hope that the Metropolitan Police did not already arrive there and disrupt any clues that we may be able to find there.
Can we have access to Flora's room, please?
Oh yes, of course you may, of course, Harry. Perhaps you require a photograph of Flora as well.
Might be a good idea, yeah.
Okay. So, let's see. I believe we've got a photograph. Which is a bit more flattering than the one in the newspaper.
Ding dong.
Mr. Black.
Well, perhaps there is a diary of Flora's that might give us some insight into where she traveled, or at least her mindset.
You have. Please, you're free to feel free to see if there is anything of throw some light on the matter in her room. I expect you to conduct yourselves with the proper decorum and discretion, of course. I'm sure
Absolutely.
Mary will you accompany the gentleman, please?
And as she says, conduct ourselves appropriately, I put my gloves on. Of course.
So the housekeeper, she leads you upstairs to Flora's room. It's quite a nice air room. There's a set of big bay windows that overlooking the street. It says, is there anything I can do to help, gentlemen?
Did she keep a diary at all?
I am not aware if Miss Jacobs kept a diary. I mean, I would be very surprised if not, being a young girl, a young woman.
Did you notice any habitual changes or anything, any mannerism changes or any change in her demeanour once you met this Mr. Adler?
Well, I would say so. Yes, she was obviously quite besotted with the man. There was yes, there was definitely
How did
definitely
they
something
meet?
to the gossip. to that question, I do not know. I believe Miss Jacobs mentioned something about meeting Mr. Adler while on a social engagement.
Do you know where this social engagement would be? What's a calendar like for social engagements?
Well, as you can understand, a young lady living on her own in London is somewhat limited. It's only when that would make with Lady McVitie's approval.
I take it she's got like a writing desk
Yes.
kind of effort. I'll just, while we're chatting, I'll just open it and have a gander and any drawers. I'll check for the obvious, like pull the little wooden thing for the little secret door to pop out.
Okay.
Yeah, you know, all of the really obvious mass-produced writing desk hidden compartments that the young people like to have.
Okay, so is anybody else want to do anything while?
I'll be looking for either photo albums or maybe there's a picture of Mr. Adler on the, if they're engaged to be married, perhaps there'd be a photo somewhere on the nightstand beside the bed, if we would be so lucky.
Okay. About anybody else?
Did Mr. Adler tell you what his line of business was? What was his work? Did he not have any work?
So Mary the housekeeper says, as from what I understand, from what Miss Jacobs said, Mr. Adler was claimed to have inherited a family fortune back in America.
So then I'll turn to Jake. So you now that you're not in earshot of Lady Constance, can you tell us exactly what you know about Mr. Adler? What brings an agent of the American government overseas to track down somebody?
Okay, so what would I have known of Mr. Adler, if anything? Or am I still waiting for information to get back?
So you know that he is involved in possibly involved or connected to a case of fraud that possibly relates to the mob. You also know that Mr. Adler does not have any fortune in America. It's a confidence trick that is tried, that is used before when he was still in America.
Yes. Okay. So my fear is that he is engaged in financial fraud and deception. He may also have ties to the mob, which could make him extremely dangerous. Now, it is also an opportunity for my government, if we can apprehend him and apply the proper pressure. He may be able to bring others to justice as well.
Is Lady Constance, she minted?
Yes, she's a baroness.
Family is minted, so this might actually be a abduction.
And so I guess Jake's told us this. Then now is obviously why he's over here looking for this guy that has got connections with mob. Yeah, if it is a kidnapping, is this obviously for some funds that he doesn't necessarily have over there? Is that a potential? Is that a potential angle we'd be looking at, Mr. Shotter? That it could be a kidnap and ransom for maybe pay off some debts to the criminal underworld.
At this point, it's too early to say. There would be no evidence leading us in that direction. I would think probably that the marriage to this young and beautiful lady might be the way to achieve his goals and more.
Or maybe an escape from the US, maybe?
100%. Escape from the U.S., escape from justice, find an eligible young pretty woman. I believe that if the issue was an issue of ransom, likely we would not have a delay in hearing from it. It's
Yeah, I suspect we'd have heard something by now.
They may have gone wrong.
Maybe so.
Might not be working alone. Maybe people who was working with got rid of the middleman.
Look, we certainly know that he is bad news. He should, that is why I suggested we go to his apartment right away, and why I expressed hope that the Metropolitan Police Force would not have already been, searching his apartment yet. I want to see it in its virgin form.
I think it's a good idea. I mean, I don't take it there's much more to find in her room.
Let's see.
Have I managed to? Yeah.
You can give us a spot hidden roll, and Jake, you do indeed find a photograph on the bedside table, which you recognise as Mr. Adler.
Oh, nice.
There you go.
Okay. Affects a walking stick. I wonder if that's just for gentlemanliness, or do I know if he has a limp or an injury of any kind? Would that have been reported?
It doesn't. No, it doesn't have any any notable traits, physical traits like that. No.
Do I find anything spectacularly interesting?
So you do find a small diary that belongs to Flora. Skimming through it, it doesn't reveal anything new. It doesn't give you any more information. It does briefly, such a subtle hints at the feelings towards Mr. Adler, towards Frank Adler, and that she met him at a party that was held by some friends, acquaintances of Lady Constance. But it was like a kind of like bright young things kind of thing. So it like young socialites.
Any letters from your man at all?
No, there's nothing. It's suspicious. In fact, suspiciously so. There's nothing like that.
She left any jewelry? Got a jewelry box. Has she got? Are there many clothes in a wardrobe?
Yes. So there's still clothes in a wardrobe and in drawers, and there's
got an underwear drawer. So have a look in an underwear drawer.
But yeah, there's the clothes. There's no sign that she's taken more than the maid said that she had. There's still clothes
Nothing
here.
hidden in her underwear drawer.
Oh, no.
Anything like under the bed, like case, anything that she'd store under a bed, or
possibly a chamber pot, but that's spotless. So, but no, other than that, no. They appear it's like I say, it's obviously a sort of a nice, pleasantly decorated, nice young lady's room, but at the same time, it's quite sparse in ways.
How long ago had they met at this function?
So they seemed to have met about 2-3 weeks ago.
Bloody hell.
So yeah, a bit of a whirlwind romance. That's certainly the impression. That is one impression that you do get from this little
Travel with him
dra-
on her own up to Sheffield after 3 weeks is a little bit odd.
Yes. Well, to be for a young woman to be travelling without a chaperone with somebody is
Just not the done thing.
it's not.
I'm inclined to agree with Mr. Chotter. We should make haste to the Mr. Adler's apartment, and let's see if there's anything there that could lead us on this trail. We don't want it to, as I imagine Mr. Chotter would say, we don't want it to go too cold.
Indeed, that is exactly what I would say, Chuck.
So as you're about to leave, leave Flora's room and head back downstairs to see Lady McVitie, the housekeeper, says there is one thing that I didn't mention to I never really crossed my mind to be honest, but on Mr. Adler's. One on Mr. Adler's more recent visits, probably the second to last visit. I was picking up one of those disgusting toothpicks that he just spat onto the floor, and a postcard fell from his pocket.
Postcard?
A postcard, yes. I without thinking, I picked it up and returned it to Miss Adler, but I did notice something didn't really sit right with me. It was signed "Your Little Dove," and it was sent from somewhere in Yorkshire.
Your Little Dove.
Yorkshire.
Interesting.
And it wasn't Flora's handwriting. I'm quite sure of that.
Interesting. Your Little Dove. And what was the anything on the postcard?
I am afraid I did. That's all I caught sight of. As I say, I didn't really think anything of it. Mr. Adler dropped it, and I did the what was what anyone would do. I picked it up and handed it back to him.
Interesting. Strange to come with a postcard. Anything with the toothpicks? Anything? Just toothpicks.
Yes, it was just toothpicks. Just a disgusting habit.
Had he been eating?
Sorry?
Had he been eating?
No, it just seemed to be. With some weird quirk. I'm at a loss, sir. I don't know. All I can tell you is I found the habit disgusting.
That's strange. He was in a toothpick and you're not eating.
No, it wasn't picking his teeth, sir. It wasn't picking his teeth. He was chewing on it.
Chewing on a toothpick? It's like chewing on a stick.
Yes, exactly.
Sounds like a very American habit. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
I don't know, is it? I can't say I've ever been across the pond.
It's a common enough thing that wouldn't distinguish a person from another, but here would be. So I suggest we do stay on the lookout at whatever location we feel that this person may have been at. We'll see if we have discarded toothpicks around the area. Sometimes it's these small things that I find that will give away a person in his location. It's quite fortunate that he has these little idiosyncrasies that would be quite foreign here.
Yeah. Well, I guess we'll keep an eye out for him. Anyway, do you not think we should make haste then to Mr. Adler's house?
I think if there's nothing left to be found here, then 100%. We can always come back here if we feel the trail will lead us back here.
I don't think we're going to get anything from here anymore. I guess we've got what we come from. We've got what we came for. So let's let's go see this Adler fellow's house, and we'll see what he's got kicking around and showing up around there.
Okay. So, saying you say your goodbyes to Lady McVitie, and make your way across London to Porchester Square. Let's see, where are we? There we go. It's Porchester Square. So it is a very sort of exclusive kind of area. Sits not really what you call a courtyard, because it's way too big. It's kind of a Victorian big Victorian terrace street where it surrounds its own park that sits at the centre of the square. But like I say, it's quite big and extensive. It's not just like a small what you'd normally expect from like a square or a courtyard. So perhaps, probably with a little bit of assistance from Jake's connections with his opposite half in the Metropolitan CID, you get access to the house at Porchester Square. So upon entering, it's the first thing that's immediately apparent is it's not been lived in for a long time, weeks at least. It's sparsely furnished, and what furnishings they are covered in dust sheets. But yeah, it's obvious nobody's been living here for quite some time.
Is there any evidence that Mr. Adler had rented this place, or was this just a false address that we got access to?
According to what you've been told from Lady McVitie and her house and the staff at the house at Grosvenor House, this was supposedly where he was living, but there seems little evidence that he was living here. And in fact, speaking to the property agents that are in charge of renting this property, they have no record of anybody by that name. In fact, nobody has made use of the property for over 6 months.
Did he not? Did Lady McVitie not say that he owned the property?
That's what she's been led to believe. Yeah.
Definitely wasn't staying with Flora, was it?
No. Oh no.
But no.
And this is very much a rented property that nobody's been living in, so that's definitely been telling porkies. That's porky pies, by the way, to our American friend.
I don't completely understand your accent. I do, in general, get the gist of what you're saying.
It's quite all right, because we don't understand yours either.
But
and rightly so.
But yeah, so Jake, this kind of fits. It's not a great surprise. It kind of fits with what has been his MO.
Yes, this doesn't surprise me at all. However, all is not lost. There's still this little dove in Yorkshire.
So the only thing you know for certain is that the court, they boarded the train, express train from Marylebone Station to Sheffield.
How far is Sheffield from Yorkshire?
So Sheffield is city in Yorkshire, and it is about 163 miles from London. So it's an express. excuse me, an express train, it's probably a mere 3 hours away.
Okay, so Yorkshire, Sheffield's within Yorkshire, so
Yes.
that's
I guess what you're looking for, Mr. Shotter, is with your reference to Yorkshire and that. I know you're not familiar with the UK, but Yorkshire is what I believe you would call a state or a county.
Oh, I see.
From there,
Funny. Wait till you get to Yorkshire.
we're only a small island nation here, you know.
Yes, that would explain the boat travel. I got that. Yes.
Yeah, good. I'm glad you're picking up on things over here. You know, I know
Well,
you're not.
you know.
Too smart. I know you're not too smart over the pond. And
It's the keen eyes, you know.
yeah,
Keen eyes.
yes. We can get you probably some glasses and a prescription maybe while you're here.
These are ears.
But anyway, I think we should let's have a look around and a good nosy around the apartment before we head up back to my neck of the woods up there in Sheffield in Yorkshire.
Oh yes, so you actually your character comes from there,
It's
isn't
not
it?
Sheffield.
So yeah, it doesn't take long to look around. It's quite a sizable. It's not an apartment. Well, it's a house. So it's like a quite sizable, split over about three floors with some extensive cellars. But it doesn't take long to search the place from top to bottom. Like I said, there's only the basic furnishings, and everything is empty.
And perhaps somebody could educate me on if this gentleman were to use this address, supposedly, and that's what he's giving out as his residence. If anybody he knew was taken in by this ruse, they would likely send post to that address. So is there anywhere that post is collected for this address? I don't know if there's a post box outside, or is there a mail slot in the door, or do you go to the post station and say, this is, you know, my address, is there any post for me? And notice I'm using the word post and not mail, just not to confuse you.
So it would make sense that if nobody's been living, if nobody has been living here and there has been post delivered, then the only possible people that would be in a position to remove any mail is, well, without illegal entry anyway, would be the people who are responsible for the upkeep of the property, who rent it.
Okay, so it's delivered straight to the door, and we didn't see any mail when we opened the door on the floor.
No.
Okay.
So it is, yeah. There's a letterbox, but yeah.
Okay.
But there was no mail. No. So somebody, if there has been any mail delivered here recently, somebody has removed it. Either the property agents, or it's not in Jake's line of work. It wouldn't be beyond. It wouldn't be beyond reasonable to, possible that somebody could get into the house and remove if they had that talent.
Right.
Which, again, you wouldn't be surprised if that was something within Frank's repertoire.
Okay.
But as well, like the most obvious people would be the property agents.
I think we need to have a talk to the property agents just to make sure that they've never heard of the man. Or if they've got any post, or has he been renting it and not living here? I think we need to have at least a quick word with them.
Yeah. Just to cover all our bases, really, I think. And since we're here already, we didn't.
Okay, so the property agents' offices are down in on Oxford Street. And heading over there, you get into the offices, which is in probably on the 3rd floor of the office block building there. Speaking to some of the staff, they confirm that they would periodically check on properties, this one included, for and remove any mail that might have been delivered, as well as as part of the course of just checking up on properties, make sure that there's not been any sign of any break-ins or just generally checking on things.
So, have they come across Mr. Adler at all?
So when you well, you've got the photograph, in fact, haven't you? So showing the photograph to them, they do one of the staff does recognise them, and that several weeks ago he came, he viewed the property on Portchester Street with supposedly with a view to renting it, but he never actually went through with it. Never signed signed a contract, but and they never saw him after that.
Have they seen any mail with his name on?
No.
And when they've been checking the property, there's never been any sign that somebody has been in the property outside of the letting agents?
No.
He actually viewed the property.
He did, yes. He
Was he alone, or was he with somebody?
Oh no, yes. Mr. Adler took the keys from from us to view the property.
Was he on his own?
Oh yes. He provided us with reliable credentials. There seemed no reason to doubt his integrity.
So you gave him the keys?
Yes.
And how long did he have the keys for?
He returned them before end of business that day, so probably maybe 4 or 5 hours.
So plenty of time to make a copy of the keys is.
Well, I suppose so, but I'm sure that wouldn't be the case.
I'm sure that. Yeah, I'm sure that would never cross his mind.
Well,
But beyond that, they seem to have a little more to add.
do we think a trip to Sheffield is now in order?
We're going to go.
A bunch of strange people up there, but very inbred.
Make some inquiries at the train station to see if anybody remembers her or him, and where they went. If they even caught another train.
Well, they definitely got to Sheffield if it was a non-stop service.
Yeah.
And just out of curiosity, would the newspaper article about her gone missing also be publicly available in Sheffield, or would it be two different types of newspapers?
So it's unlikely that it would have been picked up in Sheffield. The Daily Herald is kind of a local to London. It's not kind of a national paper.
I'd like to be sure to bring that article to Sheffield with us. Maybe we can get the press to publish something there. And
they don't tend to read very well up there either.
Yeah. I'm sure that's not true. Don't send email.
Yeah, I should point out that we all live near Sheffield in real life, though. Anyway, so where are you headed? What are your plans?
I think we'll head to the. If we've got nothing else to see here, I think the best thing we can do is head to the station.
Okay.
At Marylebone.
Radio. So it's
Well, no. Why Marylebone? Sorry.
you have to go. That's you catch that's where you'd catch a train from London to Sheffield.
Oh, I
where
see.
they-
Okay.
where
Okay.
they-
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. That's fine.
That's where the Northern Line runs from.
Okay.
So
Can't drive.
you could drive, yes.
Yeah. Maybe we could probably get the driver to take us, or catch a cab.
Whoa,
You're not
you're
going
a richer man than me.
You're not
Well.
going to cab to drive that distance.
I'd hope that.
I don't have to show a driver. I can drive up there. Did they travel by first class on this train?
Yes.
Would it be first class?
Yes, it would have been.
I would imagine so.
Yeah.
So I think we should probably travel by the same means.
You stumping up then?
I have plenty of funds to pay for first class. I'm more than happy to pay for myself.
I knew I liked you.
No, myself.
Myself.
Yeah.
And myself, I'm implying for me. I've worked hard on the theatres. I'm a well-established actor. I have many funds. I'm more than willing and more than able to pay for first-class travel.
I'm sure the agent's got his fee covered by the American government.
I don't know that the Bureau would actually cover a first-class accommodation over here.
I would probably say that shiny badge of yours will probably carry a fair bit of weight.
I don't know if that would be the moral and right thing to do. I try not to employ my badge for personal gain, but I do see.
Live a little.
I do see the advantage in having Chucky travel first class because from his fame, the masses would probably just crowd him, and that would only hurt our investigation. We would want to call little attention to ourselves. So I do say that Chuck should travel first class. Well,
And it
less
puts him
likely
safely
be
in the-
noticed.
Safely in a different carriage to everybody else.
Well, no, I need to go by first class. I'm sorry. Just keep an eye on him.
Well, if it's within my spending level, I would certainly.
I'll pay for everybody.
Oh well, that's quite generous.
My two friends are accompanying me as a favour, and you're doing your duty, but I'll pay for you to come with us first class. Presume it's just like a certain train that takes this route, so it's something that runs every day.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking, might there be a chance that we get the possibility we might get some of the same staff?
Possible, yeah, it's possible.
That's why I'm thinking first class, so we can
Smart.
question the staff if they remember them. Anything odd. So, we'll go to train station, buy tickets.
Okay. So yeah, you acquire some first class tickets for the express train to Sheffield that runs late that day. It probably leaves Marylebone Station about half an hour after you arrive. Is there anything you want to do before you get on board, or?
No, I think we'll just head for the station. Well, I suppose actually, I want to speak to the staff on the station, the station master.
The actual ticket booth as well, because if it's not their job, there might have been people that served them, might remember them. Worth trying it.
Yeah, so I guess I'll speak to the station master, see if he remembers them or has any information about them.
I think so Marylebone is quite a big, busy station. There's probably thousands of people passing through it. So I think you can make a luck roll. If you get a hard success on a luck roll, then maybe.
Probably have more chance with conductor on the actual train. Look.
Yeah. Let's look. No.
no. So no, definitely. So yeah, they just remind you of the fact that they'd love to be able to help you, but there's hundreds, if not thousands, of people passing through the station on a daily basis.
Yes, thank you, sir. And I go back to the group and say, no, there's too many people around on the station for the station master to even have any idea of who these people are, let alone see them. And maybe the conductor and the guard on the train.
Yeah, might get lucky on the train, I suppose.
Yeah, I think the wait staff on the train would be the best bet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Radio then. So should we say you board the train and settle down for the trip? And,
Yeah.
So you take your seats in first class carriage and settle yourselves down for the 3-hour journey to Sheffield.
Is there a waiter?
There is indeed. There is waiter service. The not long after, probably within about 5-10 minutes of the train leaving the station.
I do think it would be rude not to take full advantage of my friend's generosity.
You're attended by a waiter who like to see if you would like any drinks or aperitifs or any.
What sort of time is it?
What time of day?
Yeah.
Time of day, I would say it is roughly about 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Oh, definitely time for maybe
Gin
a
o'clock.
A small white wine.
Okay.
I'll
And would you like the glass or the bottle?
Oh, bottle. Might as well leave the bottle. And have you any cigars?
They bring you cigars. They'll bring you a single one, or you can have several, or a small box.
He'll probably want several.
Right. Leave the box. It's 3 hours after all to Sheffield. I'm travelling in style today.
Do you like a box of cigars, Agent Jake?
No. I never really developed the habit. It's something that
that's what the doctor says.
I always found it to be quite bitter, and I'll just kind of, maybe open the train window a bit if possible.
It does quickly get quite cloying.
I hope they will also provide you with a glass for that bottle. I'm seemingly to be drinking directly from the bottle.
I'll keep it in a brown paper bag. It's fine.
Ah, yes, so that adds the touch of class necessary to the occasion.
First class.
So we haven't actually done this yet. So perhaps this train journey will be an opportune moment to give a bit of a description and an introduction of your characters to each other. So I don't think we've kind of not done that yet. So this seems like a good time to do it. If I don't know, Dave.
Gerald, purveyor of the finest quality antiques to the gentry of London, and dare I say it, some of the less finer quality antiques to those that don't know any better. But yes, just don't expect me to run very far. Had a nasty bout of tuberculosis when I was younger, which is hence the cigars. My doctor says they're very good for what's left in my lungs. But yes, if you need any the finer things of life, books are specialty. I've got my own shop. That's how I know Lady McVitie. She came in for tea and biscuits one day, looking for some particular rare volumes. So yes, if you need any information, history of England, for instance, come and see me in my bookshop. I'll probably have to give you a small map and written instructions because it's not easy to find. I get lost at least 3 times a week. And that's nothing to do with the gin either.
Yeah, I understand. So did Einstein. So you're probably in good company.
It's all fine. It's fine. Have a cigar.
Yes, and I'll take one because I don't want to remind him that I don't smoke, and then have to actually be offered one every 3 minutes. But I won't light it. I'll just hold it.
I'll
Harry then.
hold the bottle out to.
Harry is quite a serious chap. He loathes being called Shrimpy. That's his old school name, so he detests it. He hopes nobody will repeat it. He tolerates it off Lady Constance, but anybody else, he'll not be happy. Really, he's probably 100% focused on his day job, and that's it.
Oh, what's Harry's day job?
He's an alienist. Believes in UFOs.
Perhaps our new name for you should be Shrinky.
No.
Okay.
Okay then, so Jake, I guess.
Yes, Jake Choter is quite young. You can tell that the blue suit he's wearing it's not new, but not really quite old, and he still hasn't gotten the hung of wearing a suit. So he doesn't. His demeanor and comportment is not of one that is used to wearing suits all day long. No, he's a fair height, not 6 feet, but not 5'8" either. Probably around 5'9", 10. And quite serious. Probably far more serious than a young person should be, but will probably mellow out with age and experience. So he's quite severe and out of his element in this country where sometimes things are so formal and sometimes things are so casual that he doesn't quite know how he should conduct himself at what time. Quite awkward.
Okay then. And finally, Charles.
Yeah, Charles Astor, originally from Sheffield and a child actor. Got into acting through school and things like that, local drama, and then went on to bigger and better things and became a very successful stage actor in the West End. I felt it was always destined for the stage of the West End, and been in many of the successful plays over the last few years, sort of drawing in the big crowds from there, and as a love of acting,
Sometimes even into double figures
from there. So yeah, sold out like some of the biggest theatres and in and around that time, especially the Apollo, Victoria, which is sort of seen as like the powerhouse of West End theatre.
How much of his fame is real or imagined?
Well, it's it's all real. It's all real. It's all real.
I just wondered with your acting skill being 55.
Yeah, a lot of it is, there's been it's more. I've done a lot of other dance and things like that as well. So a lot of musical and things like that. It's the 1920s. We're not setting, we're not setting world alight with. We don't know award ceremonies and things like that. People are easily entertained during this period.
Okay, so while you're on your journey to Sheffield in this smoke-wreathed carriage, sipping on wine, or rather watching Gerald drink his way through a bottle.
It's all right, is this? Have a cigar.
Do it more often.
You managed to engage a few of the staff, so some of them, and through talking to various staff on the train, you find one or two that were on that were working on this line on that particular day, and one of them does recognise the description, the photo, from the photos that you provide. They recognise Mr. Adler and Miss Jacobs. So you can, one or more of you, or somebody with an assist, you can make a psychology roll.
I've got our psychology.
Well,
That would be our alienist.
Yes, that would be the obvious. Yeah, go on then. Yeah, so you're most likely to notice.
I've got half decent if I can throw a hand in.
Yeah.
I'll give your fella a cigar as well. Dan, get him in our good book.
If I can find it, it's gone. So psychology.
You can throw a bonus dice on it.
Ah, nice.
Should still fail. I can't see him properly for the smoke.
Oh my
Oh my God! Look at that!
That's fucking fail.
Oh, Jesus
And
Christ.
taking the extra dice into account. Yeah?
Okay, the train crashes because this is kind of cool. Like this is like roll a new character, Harry.
Oh wow. 3 zeros. Jesus Christ. Dear me.
It break down.
Like
The roll, does it break down?
Yeah, if you click on the value, it'll drop it up. It'll expand it and show you the individual rolls.
he rolled 100 twice.
You get something for that.
You do.
Wow.
Something bad.
A brain aneurysm.
That
Yeah. So perhaps.
Oh,
So one of the senior staff spots you, notices you Gerald handing over cigars, and accuses you of trying to bribe his staff. And
Get
to
on the
avoid,
I think you'll find. I was not trying to bribe anybody. I was about to successfully bribe.
He's an alienist. He drove that person insane. That's the only answer.
it's a gift, man. Just calm yourself. You know who I am.
Have a cigar.
Who we are.
Quick, Chuck, give him your autograph or something, Chucky.
You know who this.
so yeah, unless somebody can make a bit of a successful fast talk, you're going to be downgraded to second class.
Why don't you? I'll.
Oh, somebody threw one in there. Oh, Charles, well done.
Take a
Nice.
cigar
Nice.
and just like fuck off a bit.
Right. So yeah, you so for the
And
rest.
that's all.
Sorry, go on.
I'll talk him down. I'm like, don't worry. It's people are getting confused. There's a lot of pressure going off, and we've got a lot of talk. We've got a lot of things going off here, and don't worry about my friend Harry. He's fine. He's fine. He's just having a little episode. It's
Me. Maybe we've had too much to drink. We apologise.
Asked him too many questions about his mother.
yeah.
While you're here, sir.
Yeah. Well, you're on my good side.
So yeah, so if there was something else that weren't that they were holding back on, you've missed out on any chance to find that out. But so thanks to Charles, you don't get kicked down to second class. You avoid any serious sort of scandal, and they refrain from their intentions to potentially inform the security or the police on at the other end. But after your extreme offensive behaviour, whatever that was, but yeah, you essentially ostracised for the rest of the trip though. You get no service from the staff whatsoever.
I'm back.
I'm gonna smell the cigar,
Than just the glass.
and I don't blame them. Cigars are disgusting things. This is what happens.
Have a cigar.
Okay.
So about mid-afternoon, sometime between 3:30, 4 o'clock, you finally arrive at Sheffield Victoria railway station. And you light onto the platform and are immediately bombarded by cacophony of sound and smells that comes with a large station like this. There's smoke, soot from the steam engines, the whistles and the roar of steam as they arrive and depart, and the clatter of trolleys on paving stones as they drag from platform to platform, accompanied by the unintelligible babble of voices as the masses of passengers that throng through the building. So as you alight from the train, a porter appears from nowhere. Can I help you with your baggage, sir?
Yes, please, good man. You can take the luggage.
Says, can I direct you to any particular destination? The smoking lounge, or are you requiring transport from the station, sir?
Not just yet. We need to.
I think we could do with a chat with a couple of people here at the station.
Oh, well, I'm here to help, sir.
We're looking. I'll pull out the picture of the what's her name?
Flora.
And I'll pull out of Adler at the same time because they go together.
And have you seen either? Do you remember either of those two people departing a train from Marylebone or anything?
We have a lot of trains coming from Marylebone, from London.
Yes, but these aren't just normal people. They're quite well to do.
Any particular train, sir?
Say that again, sorry.
Any particular train?
Yes, and I give him the details of the train that it were a few days ago.
So, well, you might be able to speak to the head conductor. They do have regular staff serving on the express line.
Excellent. Where would we find him?
He says, "Follow me. Come this way, sir."
Excellent.
And actually, while he's taking us, I'll say, you would have noticed this gentleman, and you would have remembered him if you came across him. He would have had a toothpick that he would have been playing with in his mouth. If you've ever seen a gentleman do it before, in England, it will be the man that we are looking for.
Right, you are, sir. I know what you mean, but I'm afraid I don't work that line. I'm just a porter on the platform. Can't say I've recognised the gent. But like I say, the head conductor, he might be able to point you in the direction of anybody that was serving on that line on that particular day.
Yeah, well, that'll do. We'll like I say, we'll speak to him.
Okay. So it takes you over to the office on the platform and introduces you to the head conductor, and he goes. He checks through a list of register of names just to see which particular staff were serving on that day on that particular line. But none of the staff that were there that were serving that day recognise the people and the anybody from the photographs. But while you're there in the office, there's one of the staff is sort of kind of looking up and says, "I recognise them."
Go on, fella. What do you recognise about him?
He says, "Our conductor on Sheffield to Manchester line."
Did they get on that train?
Yeah. They were on that. I recognise the couple. In particular because the young lady, she seemed a bit drunk, to be fair.
Drunk?
Oh yes, she was
Terrible behaviour.
having trouble conducting herself. She was in a bit of a state. But yeah, I remember that. That you were mentioning toothpick. The guy. He were sounded a bit American, perhaps. He chewing on a toothpick. Like I say, helping the young lady onto the train.
And who else was helping? Who else was traveling in their party?
Oh no, just the two of them.
Oh.
Yeah, like I say, they got onto my train, that runs on the Wood End line between Sheffield and Manchester.
So did they go all the way to Manchester?
Oh no, sir. They got off at Oaty Bridge.
Really?
Yeah, I remember it clearly because I had to assist him off.
Oh.
What was the name of that place again? That sounds very odd.
I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. That's how I always pronounced it. John, you probably know it by a different name. Oaty Bridge.
Oaty Bridge.
Yeah.
Very strange sounding place. What's actually there?
Oaty Bridge.
In
Oaty Bridge. Oaty Bridge.
What is there? Is it a big place?
Oh no, it's only just a small place, but the line runs through that way.
Huh.
Where would they have? Did they say where they were heading?
I don't know. One of the station staff at the Outbridge station, they were providing some assistance, but that's I'm working on the train, so after they'd alighted at the platform, that was me done. We were on to the next destination.
So did you say if there was anyone waiting for him?
No, not that I saw. I only saw him, briefly. Like I say, when the train was pulling out the station, it was one of the porters there at Outy Bridge, whatever you were calling. They were helping him. The young lady, she was in far worse state by she was almost asleep.
Ah.
Quite drowsy looking. They could barely walk.
Were they drinking on the train, or? Was she in a state when she first got
Oh
on?
no, there's no services on that on the train at that time.
So, how many miles did you say it was from Sheffield Station to Uterbridge?
Oh, it's only all about half an hour.
Is that all?
Yeah.
What's
I'm due out in about 20 minutes. If you're wanting to head that way.
so what is Uterbridge? Is it a small village?
It's just a village, not a little more than a village. I won't call it a town. I suppose people over there might like to call that. So, at the risk
And
at the risk of
there are no connecting trains from Uterbridge.
no, it's just a single line between it's the west where is it? It's the Woodhead line. Just runs between Sheffield and Manchester.
So it's just basically a stop, then, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
not
yeah. Just a stop.
the middle of nowhere. It's a lovely place,
Just down road, is it?
literally.
And again, what industry is common in Uterbridge?
I don't think there's a sheep. Maybe there's some steel mills and paper mills in the valley.
Well, I guess there's only one thing for it, and it's we may as well jump on the train and see what we can find out at the station.
Yeah, leaves in 20 minutes.
Right.
Okay.
Don't suppose would be anywhere here we'd be able to buy like local maps in the train station.
At Sheffield train, you'd probably be able to buy maps of sort of touristy maps of Sheffield, but
Nothing with like Uterbridge.
Is there anywhere that we could maybe buy a swift half before we set off if this train is
it says, So there's a smoking lounge over on platform 1. You can get a drink there.
You got anything left in your bottle and your brown bag?
No, it's all gone.
Top up.
So at the risk of causing another social yeah, that's the word. You can Harry, you can make another psychology check.
Oh no! On my friend. He's got a drink problem. Psychology.
Not a problem.
I use psychology. Psychology. Fingers.
Oh wow! Yeah, so there's it's kind of hanging around a little bit. Maybe you get the impression that he's.
Do you want a tip?
Yeah, maybe he's got something more to tell you if you maybe give him a bit of incentive.
I will give him a decent tip because he's been very helpful. And I'll say you've been very helpful. And is there anything else that you might be able to tell us to help us?
You what, Dave? Oh, can't hear you.
I was just offering him a cigar.
Oh. Stolen cigars. So thank you very much. It just so happens I did while the train was pulling out to the station, I did happen to overhear that American gentleman speaking to the porter. Wanted him to get him a taxi to take him over to Warncliffe side.
Oh.
And
Would I be right in saying Warncliffe side at the crags over there?
I believe there's a bit some moorland and the old the crags out that way.
I do believe been out there as a child on family outings.
Oh, I've not been out there myself for many a year, I'm afraid. But yeah, Warncliffe side, it's just a little village so I think they've got a paper mill.
Yeah, not much out there. I remember mainly countryside as a child. When we
It's
went.
nice and picturesque if you like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So they were wanting the taxi when they got off.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that's what I'm just as the train were pulling out. I'm pretty sure that's what I overheard. Him asking Porter to find him a ride to Warncliffe side. Yeah, definitely said Warncliffe side.
So, Charles, what's at Wantley side then? Is that of another village, or is it?
Yeah, it's just another village, not too far, but maybe about just down the road, maybe 10 minutes away by car.
Does it have a pub? Gerald.
I can't remember, sir, but I would be surprised if it didn't.
Nice public house. Alright. We're gonna go out there, and it's gonna be evening, and we're gonna be stranded.
So, might I suggest you could always take a room in the railway hotel out on the main road there.
Right, so there will be somewhere to stay. Right, we best.
It's like points out from so there's a hotel out from the front of the Sheffield station, from Victoria Station. If you wanted to stay in Sheffield before making travelling to Outybridge.
You mean travel the next day?
Yes, if you wanted to.
What do you think? Does everybody think?
Rather than getting stuck out there, I think it might be wise to spend the night here and make a full day of it tomorrow. Unless, obviously, of course, Mr. Shotter thinks that we'd be better off going now and striking while the irons are hot.
Well, the irons,
I have concerns about this
already, so,
Wantliffe side, and the fate of our poor Flora. And I'm wondering if anybody thinks that there's any time constraints. I mean, it's been 3 days already.
Well, is there anywhere to stay in Warncliffe side or Outybridge?
So the conduct tells you there's nowhere in Outybridge. You might be able to. There might be an inn or a pub that has rooms at Warncliffe side, perhaps. Sorry, Dave, were you saying something? It's your audio was a bit quiet.
can't remember. No. Well, no, I'm saying it was like we're 3 days gone already, so it's not
Yes.
exactly
Yeah.
the time.
Well, yeah, that's.
If there's a nice cozy pub here, offering.
Not going to be able to do much in the dark, are we? So,
I feel that I may be hard pressed to convince Mr. Black to continue the investigations at this point, without first relieving his thirst and then giving him time to sleep off the activity of relieving his thirst.
My thirst is perfectly fine, but I'm not particularly as fit as some people here for tramping up and down moorland. Good night's sleep. Some of us need our 10 hours a night.
probably makes more sense to go in the daytime, doesn't it?
Yes, we'll see better in the daytime. I concur.
See what we're actually doing.
Sure.
Okay.
Makes sense.
Did I say it was like November or?
It is, yes.
So it's going to be dark by now as well. So we
Yes,
don't
it's
want
getting,
to
yes,
be,
it's getting dark. Yeah, if not dark
I'm pretty
already.
cold, I guess.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's have a bite to eat. Small
Yeah.
snack at the bar. Good night's sleep,
Yeah.
and then we'll be fit and raring to go in the morning.
Okay. So, is there anything in particular you want to? Is there anything you wanted to do while you're staying over, or should we just cut to the next day?
And while I was here, the only thing I would probably do is ask if anybody has seen these, like, I mean, if the travel time was such that they also felt they may need to stay overnight at certain points during their travels, especially if this was not their first trip out together, I'd certainly ask if anybody knows or seen the couple.
At the hotel.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. No, nobody. So after showing the pictures around, nobody's seen or recognised them.
Okay.
And they ask, so you get to see, even after we're speaking to staff from 2 different shifts. So yeah, you get some comfortable, quite comfortable rooms in the hotel overnight. Have a decent meal, some drink for those who want it, and up nice and early, refreshed, the next morning. Unless there's anything else.
Can we define early?
Yes, you can define early. How early do you want to set off?
Well, I think we need some breakfast.
Yeah.
Eat Drake to a full English.
They do that
Black
kind
pudding.
of thing.
Black pudding, 3 eggs. Sausages,
Yeah, I
bacon,
fear I may need to nap after an English breakfast.
fried bread.
Get me hungry.
Okay, so yeah, probably what? So what? I don't know, about get underway about 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
Well, we want to get on like probably the earliest train I can.
We'll get on the first train out.
Probably 2 that early, I would have thought.
Okay. So yeah, you can probably get a. I mean, they're quite regular because it's local. It's a rural route rather than like a national one. So they probably run every hour, I believe. I think that's about right. Yeah, looks like it. So yeah, after you've with a nice breakfast in your bellies, you head back over the road to the train station and catch the Woodhead train on the Woodhead line at the Sheffield to Manchester train, and you're greeted by Mr. Brearley, the same conductor that you spoke to yesterday, who seems to be serving on this as conductor on this line. Good morning. You decided to stay overnight then?
We did, yes. Very pleasant. Have a cigar.
Oh, thank you.
Ooty Bridge.
Ooty, outy, yeah.
And don't spare the horses.
Yes. Well, there's it's steam, but I get your meaning, sir. So he punches your tickets, puts you sees you to your seats, and you take the short journey from Sheffield to Ooty Bridge, which I believe here we have a picture of Ooty Bridge Station. There we go. Let's get rid of that. And we've got a map of the area as well. So you didn't need to buy one, you've got one there.
Nice.
So there you can just see, on the bottom edge, you can just see Ooty Bridge. So yeah, you alight at the somewhat quieter platform at Outer Bridge. There's only a few people knocking about, and once the train leaves, the only sound there is the distant sound of a river down the hill, and birds in the trees. Anyway,
I doubt
so-
we'll be able to hire a ride here.
So there's two flanking platforms, and there's a main station cottage. It's like a great stone building on the Manchester bound side, and there's a small shelter on the opposite platform. So as you light onto the platform, porter comes over, just kind of saunters over. He got a cigarette dangling from the corner of his mouth. Morning, gents. Help you with your luggage.
Yes, thank you. Is there a ride we can hire, or?
Yeah, I can phone you. I can phone you a car if you're looking for a taxi.
Yeah. How far to Cliff Sides?
Oh, not far. It's only a few miles down the road.
Ah, so walking distance, but again with all the baggage.
Oh,
And my antiquated friend over here, I think will. My collector of antiques friend over here. Not antiquated, certainly not. I think we will hire the cab after all.
Well, if I'll wheel your baggage into the waiting room. If you want to sit yourselves down, there's the stoves on, so it'll keep you warm. And I'll get on the phone and see if I can get you a car.
But before you do, there might be something else you can help us with. A few days back, do you remember seeing, and Chuck, show the picture of Flora, and I'll show the photo again of Frank. Do you remember this couple coming by?
Oh yeah, I remember them too. Yeah, I could hardly forget that young lady. She was sound asleep.
Really?
And to help that American gentleman, I had to help him carry her into the car.
Yeah, I believe he was dropping her off somewhere here. When did you next see the gentleman depart alone?
Oh, I didn't see him after that.
Oh, so you never saw him depart?
Oh, he left with the young lady in the car.
Oh, no. I mean, but
came back,
surely
no.
he would have come back to the station to.
No, I never saw him after that. I've not seen him since.
I see.
So yeah, I got on that car to Wantley side. That's last I saw of him.
I don't suppose you know who the driver was.
Oh yeah, that'll be. There's only one driver. It'll be the same driver.
Yeah.
Magic.
Unless he's had a skinful last night, it'll be old Bert.
Yeah.
So make yourselves comfy, and I'll go and phone. I'll give him a call and see if he's busy.
Thank you.
Okay. So, yeah, doing anything in particular, or are you just going to hang around and wait?
Well, I guess we'll hang around and wait.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Not much else we can do at the moment.
Okay, so you'd only sat around for about 15, 20 minutes, if that, before this grizzled-looking man looks with a pretty foul-smelling pipe clenched between his teeth. Looks to be at least in his late 60s, and a flat cap pulled down across his head. Are you ones wanting ride out to Warncliffe side then?
Yeah, we'd like a ride out there if you're willing to provide us one.
That'll be 5 pennies then.
Oh, no problem. We'll give you 7 for your troubles.
Oh, that's mightily kind of you, sir.
You never know, we might need your assistance and services at some other time.
Oh, I'll be sure to look out for you. The name's Bert.
Ah, nice to meet you, Bert. I'm Charles.
Nice to meet you, sir. And where am I taking you?
You know, Bert, we'll make it easy for you. Here, and I'll show him a picture. We're gonna meet friends. Which location did you take this gentleman and this lady to?
Oh, that,
a couple of days back.
She were the worst for wear, weren't she? They're friends of yours.
People we've been, we're, yeah.
Oh,
People we're interested in seeing again.
I dropped him off at Moor Arms in Warncliffe side, if that's where you wanted to go.
More Arms is a.
It's a public house.
Oh. Yeah.
Perfect.
And when was the next time that you saw this gentleman? And did you take him back to the train station?
No, I left, dropped him off there. What would it be? About 3 days ago now. That.
Surely that wasn't his
3-4
final
days
destination.
Ago. Well, that's where I dropped him off. Dropped him off out just outside Moor Arms. I ain't seen him since, but you know, I don't often go over Warncliffe side. There's not much there.
I see.
Does the public house have rooms for
I
rent?
believe they do. Yes, I believe they have lodgings. Yes.
Well, I guess you can drop us off at the Boozer then, and we'll speak to the landlord.
Right, yeah. Then the car's just outside on the road.
Did you talk to the gentleman at all?
A little, you know, just a bit shooting the breeze, a bit of small talk.
What did he have to say? Did he have anything interesting to say?
Not really. He said they're coming from
He was a
London.
Foreign gentleman.
A Yank like yon there.
Yes, indeed.
We all look alike.
But yeah, they said they come up from London, I think.
And the lassie slept all the way?
Oh yeah, she went out of it. She were fast on.
Did you make any small talk with the gentleman? Find out what he was doing there, and
Oh, he said he was visiting friends.
oh, he mentioned his little dove at all.
Little dove. I don't think you were a pigeon fancier.
Yeah, I see. A dove is not a pigeon, but
Is it
I
not?
take your meaning.
Looks the same, surely.
Surely. Perhaps in this area, yes.
I'm not one for pigeons. Unless it's in a pie, maybe.
Again, that's not a pigeon, that's a blackbird.
He chuckles and like, no, he's a warm one, this one, isn't he? Right, he starts the car up and opens the doors for you to get in. Unless there's anything you want to do here. Next leg of your journey. Right, so you do, it is indeed just a short drive, maybe about 10-15 minutes drive. And as you drive down into the valley, following along a river that snakes its way through the valley, that Bert helpfully tells you is the River Don, and this is the Don Valley. As you're driving down to the valley, he slows the pace of the car as you run into a thick mist that's sort of sits in the bottom of the valley, cloaking everything in mist. You pass the town as you pass into the edge of the Warncliffe side. You just see the tall sort of chimney from the paper mills, and you can vaguely see the grey sort of outlines of building as you come down the street, which is mainly a dirt road with sort of flagged sort of cobblestone crossings every so often, and it eventually pulls up the car. So here we are. More arms in.
Is there anything of interest around here apart from like the paper mill, this public house? Where might a young couple go to from here?
I don't know. There's no around here bar moorland and there's crags up on hills.
What about any farm holdings?
There's plenty of farms.
Know anyone that goes by that'd be referred to as Little Dove or anything like that around here?
I don't know anybody from. To be honest, I don't know anybody from round Wantley side. I know there's the inn, there's the public house, there's the coppers, there's a post office.
Coppers? What's the coppers? The police?
Aye.
There's some police here.
Well, there's a police house. We're just past it back there.
A guard post for somebody to stand in to keep him out of the rain. Let's go to the inn.
Yeah.
Let's go in.
So
Right.
yeah, we'll go there.
Second breakfast.
Okay.
Second breakfast.
Second.
Wrong game.
Okay. Okay, right. The Moor Arms is an ancient looking pub. It looks to be easily a few hundred years old. As you're crossing over the road, you can all make a look roll.
Get rid of
She gets mowed down by Bert.
Sorry, which roll?
A look.
Yes.
A look.
A look.
loads of that.
Charles has failed.
Get that.
Oh, Harry's wow. Success.
Harry can save me.
Sorry, I guess spot hidden is what you mean, because I don't have look.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
on
you-
the top left of your character sheet. It's not a skill.
Oh, a luck roll. I apologize.
Oops.
Is luck?
You what, Dave?
Oh,
Is
that's
luck not power?
No,
No.
no. It's not. It's not derived from power anymore. It's a separate.
that's quite the roll, Harry.
If, my luck seemed to be very low.
It is. Yeah, you got 30 luck. So,
Oh my god.
Okay, fair.
But I've got a character with no look.
yeah, you are.
Overrated.
So yeah, you just click on where it says the word "luck," Dave, and it'll do the roll.
Yeah, it doesn't
You've
seem to,
played 7th edition.
Oh, there we
Sorry,
go.
Dave. What?
It's alright. It was just fighting me. That's a fail.
No. You've played 7th edition before, haven't you, Jake?
Yes, I have.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Yeah. So I don't. You know about spending luck and all that kind of stuff. No worries.
Yes. If I'm, I know. Don't ever do it. Don't spend luck unless unless you're being clobbered with something.
Jimmy,
Spend it all the time.
Yeah.
You do? Okay.
There's a spend.
Yeah, I was just hoping to have slightly more of it.
So is that everybody's made? Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, Harry could spend 1 luck to make his luck roll 1 instead. I mean, you know.
Actually, I'm looking for who's failed the worst, to be honest.
Probably.
So that would be Gerald, I guess.
Mr. Black.
Still.
And so,
any.
because I intend to use him in the next scene.
The way.
Go on, Dave. Still, what were you saying first? Go on.
No, I was just going to say, if it's anything to do with diving out of the way of cars.
No,
then,
no, it's no, it's not actually. Bert is not going to actually run over anybody over. So, like I said, there's a heavy mist that's descended on the valley, and visibility is quite heavily reduced. Yeah, probably getting on your chest as well, Gerald. Yeah. So as you cross the road over to towards the Moor Arms public house, Gerald, you feel somebody fastens their like suddenly grabs hold of your wrist, and turning, you see a tall, gaunt, almost skeletal figure glaring down at you with wild eyes. And I believe we've got a thing of him somewhere. Sorry, I had him on the page, but we'll have to drag him on. One second. Oh, actually, I don't need to do that. Where is he? There he is.
Oh my.
Okay.
Nice.
So he's like
Woman.
grabs all. Yeah, it does look a bit feminine.
Whoa,
bomb.
steady on, fella.
So he grabs hold of your wrist and just glaring down. At you. Them bodies to doing what them that's watching, always watching. To them we're nought but ants. Always watching from them spaces between. They're evil in this place, and they're always watching. And he like lets go of your hand and just like runs off into the mist screaming.
Maybe there's an asylum close by. What?
Yeah.
What were they dressed in? Were they dressed like the photo?
Yeah, like a smock, kind of. It's almost like a farmer's smock.
Not like a
This,
You what? Sorry, Dave.
this is why you don't go out of London. This kind of thing is exactly why you stay in London.
So as he disappears off into the mist, you can hear, always watching.
You know, I have learned that in the UK there is a difference between the fog and the mist.
Yes.
And you much prefer the fog over the mist.
Really?
Right, I'm gonna let you. I'm just gonna take a brief toilet break. So I'll be back in a second.
Let's all be on the same schedule. Be back. Well, that was just a bit of a fright there before, wasn't it?
A little bit off.
Wilderness fire.
It's
Yeah.
the eyes. It's always the eyes. It's never just the
I knew that
gaunt.
once.
Let's go back to London.
Always watching. Huh. It was a bit difficult to go to the loo after that one. All I had in my head is always watching, and I'm like,
Did it say something about the bones, or they're doing something? I can't remember what he said.
the spaces, watching from the spaces in between is what stuck out in my mind.
I'll print it in
No, don't, because we should have been listening.
because some of it were in quite broad.
I think you'd be that shocked, you probably wouldn't take it all in anyway.
True enough.
Can't you moved your mic away? I
Oh,
can't
sorry.
hear.
Yeah, sorry. I said I'm in two minds whether to put it into chat now.
I started with my earphones and then realised my earphones weren't working. So I don't know how loud I'm sounding because it's going through the cam.
Sounds okay. Not noticed any difference, to be
Yeah.
honest.
It weren't having it with headphones, so I don't know.
I have to. Oops. Have to up Dave's volume a bit.
They're still plugged in, but I dare unplug them because it might.
Yeah, don't unplug them.
It's USB. It must be like a loose connection on them or something.
Yeah.
I thought I selected it on the configuration. But
Has Andy gone to get a drink or something?
It's wandered off somewhere.
it scared him. He's gone to bed.
Ask the watchers where he is.
Go on. I'll put it. I will put it into chat because, like I say, it was a bit. It was perhaps a bit.
We're finishing at past, aren't we?
Yes, I believe so. Yes, I think that was the plan. Was it 10:30?
That is. It's written in Yorkshire.
Yeah.
There's outdoings of them that watch.
I made
Yeah.
the bones up. It's bodies, not bones.
Couldn't agree more.
Need Charles's character to translate it.
Yeah.
He's from around these parts.
Yes, Mr. Black, you may want to be careful about the drink in this place. I fear the toxicity level of the alcohol may affect the mind.
Never had that problem before. It keeps me sharp.
Shop. Yes, okay.
Okay. So, you escape the mist into the warmth of the pub. There's a fire, a wood fire burning the hearth, and it's inside. It's like I say, it's obviously really old. This place. It's half timber building, half like old brick. There's thick, heavy wooden beams.
So, is it? Can I tell? Is it actually old, or is it dressed up as?
No, it is actually
Old.
it is actually old. Really, no, it's not dressed up as it's not like imitation. It's really old.
Well, I think in a loud and boisterous American way, I'd go, yeah, Mr. Black, it's absolutely fantastic. You're correct. So you're telling me this building is well over 100 years old. A national treasure. This place is worth a mint. This absolutely. Tell me more about the architecture of this place and who built this. The owner of this building may not even know what he has on his hands. This building is absolutely priceless.
So yeah,
Yeah.
I guess you can make a history roll, Mr. Black. Yeah, why not? That's so
history.
there's um. There's a young lady behind the bar. There's a few patrons scattered
Nice,
around different tables.
nice. Yes, made it.
So yeah,
Just
this yeah.
Just.
So this is clearly you'd date this. It's easily like 17th century, 1600s.
I'll pull some. To be fair, it doesn't really matter what I say. Although I'll try and sound knowledgeable for the locals. I'm sure there were probably some Civil War shenanigans. Battle of Sheffield.
A secret cellar, you say, that might contain unknown treasures as well. Very interesting, and you would know how to find these little nooks and crannies that may hold those little secret doors to get into those hidden underground, war treasure locations.
I'll roll my eyes at the barkeeper.
And as he does that, I'm going to go to the barkeep. Are you the proprietary of this fine establishment?
I am, gentlemen. I am. Can I help you? My name's Polly Jevons.
No. We're actually going to help you. And I'm going to pull out a picture of this gentleman. This gentleman here, he has interests in the area. I don't want you to get taken from a confidence trickster like this. He will offer you much less than this building is actually worth. Has he already approached you with plans of purchasing this establishment? The historical value is through the roof of this location. You must know that already.
I remember seeing these two. Yeah, they were in a few days ago. Young couple. Arrived in a car. Stopped in here, had a couple of drinks. I'm unsure. I don't know where they went on to after that though.
Oh, really? I was led to understand that they were staying here for the evening.
No, we got nobody staying here at the moment. All our rooms are free if you're interested. There's an old man over in the corner who looks a little bit worse the way for drinking. He's another bloody Yank.
Yeah, well, one good Yank deserves another, or so they say. Am I allowed to say that on Twitch?
What's the lady? Did the lady drink her drinks? Because we've heard that she was a little bit worse for wear.
Oh, I think she looked a bit tired.
Did the gentleman call a taxi when they left? Before they left?
Not from here. Like I say, they came, stayed, had a couple of drinks, a bite to eat, and then they were on the way.
So what time would that have been when they left?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe late afternoon. It was getting late, getting dark by that time. I'm pretty sure.
Can I get a pint?
Oh yes, sir,
And,
you can. We brew our own here.
Marvellous.
None of that brewery nonsense.
And one of whatever yon chappie in the corner's drinking.
Oh, that'll be the same. That's all we serve.
2 of those then, and I'll leave this lot talking, and I'll go and sit down next to you, man.
Okie dokie.
So tell me, what's that nursery rhyme that the children keep singing here all the time in the streets? Something about always watching, the watchers, the mutants. There's some sort of nursery, they skip jack to that song. They skip rope. No.
Yes, right.
How does
I've not heard that before. Where you heard that from?
Oh, just something we heard walking through the streets. There was a was odd. The odd sound in my ears.
No, I'm not familiar with that, sir. It's sorry.
No, not at all. Not at all. I suppose the legal age for drinking is 12 years old, so probably you wouldn't have younger children like that in this establishment yet.
Oh, you gesture, surely. So what can I get you, fine gentleman, anyway?
Since you only serve one thing, we'll probably take that. And a meal for my friends, perhaps?
Oh, yes. What would you... I can knock you up a steak and ale pie.
Oh,
Chicken
very
in a
nice.
basket.
I was hoping for some bangers and mash, but that sounds equally good, if not more.
I can have a look what we've got. What I've got in the pantry.
Don't go to any trouble. Whatever you have ready.
Oh no,
we may not be here that long.
Not at all, sir. Not at all. I'm keen to always look out to be try to be a good host. That's what my mother and father used to tell me. So she draws you all a drink for those that want them, and then goes back. Excuse herself, and she goes back through a door at the back pub that you can see leads into a kitchen. So there are Gerald is sat with this old guy, and
I'm just
what's Gerald doing? Yeah,
I'm just going chuffing Yanks, that one. We're up from London. He just, he thinks this place is a historical marvel for a start. Did you say that there'd been another one a couple of days ago?
Yeah, the one that Polly were talking about.
Yeah.
The American came to town recently. I'm sure he was. I'm sure. What's it? Jeremiah said he were up. He were up at Moor Hall.
Where's that? Just up the way?
It's about a mile up the road. Says Jeremiah. He's the groundskeeper and gamekeeper for Moor Hall. Says,
does he come in here as well?
He does. He's regular in it. Although, come to think of it, I ain't seen him for a few days. A couple of days now. Since he were last in. He's usually here in at this time of day. Says, but yeah, he were talking, saying some American had been up there. Don't know if it was the same guy. But yeah,
surely there can't be more than two of them.
Well, yeah,
knocking around at the same time. Although this one, he's good for a pint or two. If
two in almost as many days, it's an occurrence that. But yeah, old Jeremiah, because he says he heard this American gent arguing with Sir Rupert.
Oh, and what about?
Right,
so it takes quite a lot to upset this one.
Don't know. He says he just he just said he just heard raised voices coming from the house. You'd have to ask Jeremiah.
Aye, well, hopefully he'll be in a wee bit. Have
Sir
a cigar
Reginald,
anyway.
sorry, not Sir Rupert. oh, thank you.
I just keep feeding them to Pet Yank, and keeps him happy.
He takes a cigar and breaks it down, and puts it in his pipe.
So what are they like up at the hall?
Oh, Sir Reginald is a paragon of virtue. Is a proper gent, polite, always time to talk to us, to the small folk.
Farming
he leans in and almost taking the skin off your nose with his breath. Although I remember rumours there used to be when he were a bit of a lad. He was a bit of a ladies' man when in his younger days.
Weren't we all though?
Oh, aye, but also Reginald. Oh, one in every port, so they say.
Oh, aye. Did you see? Speaking of lasses, did you see the lass that that American was with?
Says I recall that wasn't paying much attention. I was had my eyes on the table, if you like.
Oh, why? Why? What was the crack?
Like, well, that's where my glasses.
Let me get another couple.
That's mighty kind of you.
I'll go and get another couple of pints for him.
And as you're coming over to the bar and we're there, I'll just look at you. So, anything interesting?
There's a guy. It's definitely a guy up at the hall called Rupert or Reginald or Ralph. But yeah, there's a guy, and American chappie was arguing with him. So let me just take these back. Come on. I'll introduce. He's a bit funny about Americans, but he'll like you. I promise.
Well,
just give me 2 minutes. Just give me 2 minutes, just to like.
You enjoy.
Smooth the way. I'll take the pint back and go.
Look to the other guys. Maybe we should find out from this.
He wants to talk to some local colour. So here's a pint for you, and just give him the goss. He likes a bit of the gossip. Tell him about your man up at the hall, and I'll make sure and keep the drinks in. But he likes to. Americans, they don't have this kind of thing over there, so it makes him feel part like he's visited properly. If you tell him everything.
I've got the perfect thing.
And I'll
He reaches under the
Like
table
these guys over.
and pulls out a what's it called? What do they call them? A concertina. Pulls out an old battered concertina from under his bench that he sat on.
I'll gesture him over. Meet my friend. Sorry, what was your name again, fella?
Thomas.
Tom. Meet my friend Tom. This is my friend. What was your name again, fella?
Yeah, Steve.
Steve the Yank. Meet Tom the Yorkshireman. We're gonna have a bit of a sing-song. It's gonna be ace.
He sort of like squeezes and plays with the keys on his concertina a bit, and then starts up playing. And we've even got the thing that he starts playing.
Oh.
Is it the landlord's daughter?
Old stories tell how Hercules a dragon slew at Ned.
I'm gonna sing along even though I don't know the words.
14 eyes to see and well discern. He had a
Born in a net on it to tell but more with nothing at all he slew the dragon of Wantley. Have you not heard of the Trojan horse and 70 men in his belly? To the dragon this horse was not as big, but very near a telly. Devoured he that could not with him grapple, and at once up he ate a mump as one would eat an apple. In Yorkshire near Fair Rother, a place I know some 2 or 3 miles or thereabouts of our cannot tell. But there is a hedge or so I may recall. Oh, there and then was this dragon, you could not choose but spy it. I buy a furious knight that dwelt Novu Moltan. Or he could fight, kick up enough, do any kind of thing. Remain with his hands a twain, he swung a horse till it were dead. And that which a stranger he for very anger, it to pull but his head. The children, as are told,
The
being
children,
at
as
men,
are told,
women,
being
girls
at
and
men, women,
boys,
girls
sighing
and
and
boys,
sobbing, came to
sighing
his
and
lodging
sobbing,
and made
came
an
to his
hideous
lodging and made
noise.
an hideous
Save us all,
noise.
more of
Oh, save us
thou
all,
peerless
more
knight of these
thou peerless
woods.
knight of these woods.
Do but slay this dragon, he won't leave
Do
us,
but
Sir
slay this dragon, he
will
won't
give
leave
thee
us,
all
Sir
of our
Dragon will give
goods.
thee all of our goods.
This being done, he did
This being
engage
done,
to
he
you
did
this dragon
engage to
down.
you this
But
dragon
first he
down.
went new
But
armor
first he
to
went
bespoke
new
in
armor
Sheffield
to
town.
bespoke in
We
Sheffield
spice all about
town.
with it,
We
but
spice all
without of
about
steel
with
so
it, but
sharp and
without of steel so
strong.
sharp and strong.
Both behind and before arms,
Both
legs and
behind and
overall, some
before
6
arms,
or
legs
5
and
inches
overall,
long.
some 6 or 5 inches long.
It is not strength that
It
always
is not
wins, for
strength
which
that
doth strength
always wins, for
excel,
which doth
which
strength
made our
excel,
cunning champion
which made our
creep down
cunning
into
champion
a well.
creep down into.
We did
So while he's going on singing this song, the door to the pub opens and a youngish man comes in, like shaking his coat, and goes and sits at the one of the tables near the fire. Is there? Can I have half a pint, Polly, and maybe a sandwich if you've got time? She goes, oh yeah, of course, yeah, just be with you one moment, Mr. Allison. And he sits, he takes like a little briefcase, leather satchel, opens it up on the table and takes out these hand-drawn the papers with look like hand-drawn maps on them, and starts poring over them, studying them sat at the table. And of course this old guy continues singing as well.
To a well, where we did big
fade into
drink,
background
and
a
so we did in truth. As it stooped low, he rose up and cried bowl and struck him in the mouth.
I'm wondering if you can convince your new friend to sing the song about the Watchers.
And then he turned and farted at him like how we did.
See, I think this song might be about the Watchers. I'll just go and get another couple of pints in.
I'm going to try to write down the lyrics to this in my pad furiously while he's
Okay.
singing, so that I can consult a dictionary and find out what he was trying to say in the first place.
Okay.
Tom! 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 Who's that?
Right, he stops. He says, what? Says, oh, that's some government chappie from over at Sheffield.
What's he up to?
Says, I don't know. Look, here to look into subsidence or something.
Can I have a go? Have a pint.
Right, he hands you the what's it, Constantina? That's a craft. I think that's a craft roll, that. Which
Yeah. No.
5%.
So Polly, oh, go on, sorry.
Let's just maybe everybody else should just be the ones making the rolls.
Nice!
Oh, wow.
Look at that! Wow!
Okay.
Secret skills, you see.
Impressive.
So yeah, you managed to cobble out a tune.
At least
or-
half a tune.
Yeah. Bit squeaky in places, but yeah, you actually managed to knock something out. So yeah, Polly comes back through carrying some plates of sausages. Says, if you want in, I can do a steak pie. It'll take a while to warm it up though.
It's not fresh.
No, it's I made it yesterday. It's all right. It's been under a cover in the pantry.
Under a cloth.
A pie. I'll just.
Aye, it is.
Can I like get up to use the privy and just walk past your government man and just see if I can neb at what the maps are of?
Yeah, I suppose so. Yeah. So
Sorry, mate. Sorry, just coming through. Sorry.
there's it's probably about 2, maybe 3 sheets of paper, and the hand, like I said, the hand drawn, the in pencil, and they look quite recent. They look quite recent. It's on like fresh paper. It's not, it's not old or anything like that. It's, you can make an idea roll, intelligence.
Tonight is obviously not our night.
Okay, right. So while you're trying, well, do you want to push that? Do you want? I presume you're not going to spend luck on that.
I'm pretending to be drunker than I obviously am.
Okay.
At which point, there's a distinct chance that beer might go everywhere.
Oh my God, this was okay.
Well, not a critical at least, but something bad.
So yeah, I do appear to have
On his maps.
possibly spilt his drink over.
Yeah. So yes, yeah. Why not? So you're trying to
Oh, sorry.
trying to like have a sneaky look at his
I'll
drawings.
probably have to like grab mine's over there, so I'll probably have to grab his coat to like try and mop the beer up with.
Oh my God! It took me hours. It took me ages to get to copy these out.
Sorry. Let me buy you a pint.
You're like, stop! You're making it worse. You're making it worse.
I'll
Stop.
pick up the map.
You've already given him a pint.
No, this is the government.
In the glass, you mean? Oh, okay.
Right, he goes to grab them off him, and as he grabs it, he just like rips it in two, and it's like, oh, just leave it. Just leave it alone.
Sorry. Maybe we should like dry it by the fire.
Says I'll just go away. I'll sort it out myself. Go back over there where you came from.
I'll go back over and then. I think I got away with that.
This guy
Definitely some maps.
soggy maps. He got a Sheffield accent, this government person.
He has, but not like a working class accent. Kind of middle class kind of accent.
Yeah. When Polly's serving as food, can we? Or can I inquire about this Sir Rupert Reginald? What does he come down? I don't suppose he comes round here much. He stay on his property.
Oh, he's not an aloof. He's not aloof like some of them toffs. No, he's a man of the people. Is Sir Reginald. Man of the people.
He mixes with the community.
Oh yeah. He's never been one for looking down on people of a lesser station than himself.
And do you know why he's a sir? Would you know why he's a sir?
It's like most of them. It's inherited. His family's been around here for centuries. In fact, that is one of his ancestors is old Tom was saying. That ballad that old Tom was singing is about one of his ancestors.
What was it actually about? I was struggling to pick my way through Tom's colloquialisms.
Oh, it's the ballad of the Dragon of Wantley.
Wantley.
Yeah, it's Wantley's. It's what Warncliffe side were called sort of a long time ago. At least that's as I understand it.
And well, I take it he was the hero of the piece.
Yeah, indeed he was. He defeated the dragon.
Dragons aren't real.
It's only legend, ain't it? Just a bit of fun, just like old Tom. Is it? Just excuse me a minute, and she goes over and drags old Tom off where he's collapsed on the table. Says, "I'm just going to take him into the back room, let him sleep it off a bit." Says, "If you're that interested, the up on the wall there's one of the old one of the transcripts of the ballad."
I'll take a look.
Okay. Might take a bit to...
Ah.
So yeah, it's there's this. It's in a glass fronted frame, hung on one of the beams, surrounded by horse brasses running down either side. And as you're looking at that, and as the door opens and a bit of mist billows into the room. And a couple of locals, a couple more locals come in saying, "Well, I'm saying, oh bloody old Long Tom Cobb's back around again."
Ah, is that the chap that accosted us? He said he was tall, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was tall. Yeah, really tall and gangly. Other guy says, "Hey, I thought he was staying up with Jeremiah." Oh, yeah, Jeremiah. Nobody's seen Jeremiah for a couple of days now.
Where does Jeremiah live?
He's says, "Who might you be?"
Oh, we're up from London, but I was talking to old Tom before he. Well, we were having a bit to drink and a bit of a sing-song, and I thought he could keep up with me, but maybe he couldn't. But he was saying he hadn't seen Jeremiah because he was going to introduce us. We were singing this song about Dragon of Wantley.
Oh yeah. Old Tom. It's one trick pony.
He let me have a go on his accordion and everything. It's proper good.
Yeah. It's a pity you didn't lose it. I'm sick to the teeth.
But yeah. He said Jeremiah were a sound sort. Might come in and see him tonight, but I guess if nobody's seen him for a couple of days, I might have to have another go on that accordion, I guess, if there's nothing else to do.
Well, it's like I say.
Oh, we could. I guess we could have a chat. Or I don't know. I did enjoy playing it though.
Yeah, you go on. You can make a persuade roll, I guess.
Fairly sure they don't want me to play the accordion.
Charming. That's another fail.
So, accordion it is then.
Because I'm not talking to. I'm not talking private business with people up front smoke.
Accordion time.
Okay.
No, not bad.
You know. I'll keep myself occupied, twiddling away.
Radio. So these two new arrivals, they go over to the bar and order some drinks and settle themselves down in one corner, keeping themselves to themselves. One of them is like carrying a newspaper, carrying a newspaper under his arm, and he offers it to his friend, and he don't want it. He like refuses, so he just tosses it to one side, to the bench at the side of him, and like a story on the front page catches your eye. Find it for you. Oops. This one will take a little while to load them up. Mummies in the moor. Frightful find in Warncliffe Field. Local farmer Samuel Farrow of High Tree Farm made the grisly discovery of 2 corpses in an unusual state of decay while tending to grazing land last Saturday. The bodies appear to have been mummified through some process as yet unknown. Professor Marion Hawkswood of the University of Sheffield has been examining the finds and told the Telegraph that the bodies are dressed in clothing from the 16th century, yet are so remarkably preserved that they still are, in her words, juicy. Professor Hawkswood, a renowned expert in the more esoteric aspects of history, is continuing her research in the village of Warncliffe Side and has been granted exclusive access to the library of Sir Reginald Moore, where she hopes to find some explanation for this macabre mystery. She has promised to keep the Telegraph informed of any further developments.
Wow. So this is the same. Obviously, is only going to be one Reginald here,
Yeah.
who fought with my American compatriot, apparently. And these 2 bodies.
But, see, that could give us an in with Sir Reginald. We can blag our way as investigating or having some knowledge of what it might be.
Well, being an antiquities person yourself,
Yeah, I'm
you
sure
would have a professional interest in this, and this is your reason for coming up here.
I can certainly talk the talk anyway.
And I'll simply be
roll the
your
roll.
American research assistant.
My, yeah.
Charles believes that the content of this story might make a wonderful play for him to star in on some West End, and that just leaves us with Harry.
The money.
Is there a reason why an alienist might be involved in this project?
I'm just going to ask him why he was arguing with our friend Alda.
Well, then all that careful planning of alibis and stories shan't be necessary now.
What a stupid dragon and archaeology things got to do with anything. We're here to try and find what's happened to Flora, and you're trying to apprehend a criminal. I think we should just focus on that.
Yes, but in the agency, they taught us that the art of deception will sometimes yield more positive results than this direct approach of where are these people and why were you fighting with them? But
And
the English method could also be just perfectly fine. I'm learning new methodologies.
and this legend is really cool and interesting.
He'll be an honourable chap. He's a sir. He's obviously above board. All sirs are.
All right. Might also be interesting to speak to Professor Harkwood at the same time.
Yeah.
She's there, isn't she? Using his library. So, maybe, we should talk probably to the police constable or whoever's in the police station house.
Yeah, they would probably have more information of these dead bodies, I assume. So.
Got a little, I believe there's a little map of. I shall put these pictures and other things into like into a handout section of the journal, so you can reference them
cool.
later,
Nice,
rather than
thank you.
to remember them. So that's a map of the village as well.
Did your man say there were some rooms available?
She did, yes.
So that might not be such a terrible idea. Seeing as I've probably managed to irritate at least 50% of the population of the bar. Plus anybody that has any sort of sense of hearing with my accordion playing.
I haven't quite yet established if you drink more liquid or spill more liquid. I'm kind of not sure.
This is why I prefer a bottle.